Have you ever stopped to think about what the cities we will live in by the year 2100 will look like? Will we still be walking through congested streets, full of pollution and chaos, like in many current metropolises? Or will we live in futuristic megacities, where intelligent skyscrapers communicate with each other, transportation travels at hypersonic speeds, and artificial intelligence dictates the rhythm of our lives? This is one of the greatest debates of our time, the urban future of humanity. After all, well, today, we already face serious problems such as overpopulation, social inequality, chaotic traffic, and climate change. Will the cities of tomorrow be able to solve all this or simply take our problems to an even more extreme level? Imagine a city where buildings are not just constructions, but intelligent organisms capable of adapting to the climate, generating their own energy, and even interacting with residents. And transportation. Perhaps cars and buses will become museum pieces, replaced by vacuum transport tunnels, personal drones, and magnetic trains crossing continents in minutes. But here's the question: will this future be accessible to everyone, or only to an elite that can afford such technologies? Will the megacities of 2100 be the peak of civilization, or the beginning of a new form of inequality, even more brutal? And can you imagine living in a city where artificial intelligence makes decisions about security, mobility, and even public health? Will we be walking toward an urban utopia or into a digital prison disguised as a futuristic paradise? Building the megacities of 2100 will not be just a matter of futuristic architecture, but one of the greatest scientific and technological challenges in human history. After all, how do you create cities capable of housing tens of millions of people without collapsing under pollution, traffic, or lack of energy? One of the greatest baits lies in intelligent skyscrapers, self-sufficient buildings that generate their own energy through integrated solar panels, invisible wind turbines, and rainwater collection systems. Imagine buildings that breathe, automatically adjusting their internal temperature and even cultivating food in integrated vertical farms. They would be true artificial ecosystems suspended in the sky. And what about transportation? Many scientists believe that the cities of the future will feature hyperfast systems based on vacuum capsules, such as the Hyperloop concept, capable of connecting cities in just minutes. Within the metropolises themselves, autonomous drones and flying cars could replace traditional means of transport. But will we live in cities with no traffic at all, or will we simply transfer congestion from the streets to the skies? Another crucial point will be the full integration of artificial intelligence. AI systems could control everything from traffic to energy distribution, public safety, and even citizens' health. But here comes the inevitable controversy. Are we truly willing to hand over so much power to machines? How far can we trust them to make decisions for the collective good and not for private interests? And do you believe technology will truly transform our cities into futuristic paradises, or just create new, even more complex problems to solve? If the megacities of 2100 really become a reality, the impact will not be only technological or architectural, it will strike at the very heart of society. The first big question is, who will have the right to live in these ultra-advanced cities? Will they be spaces accessible to everyone, or just futuristic islands reserved for the wealthy, turning the future into a dystopia where the majority of the population remains in precarious, overcrowded cities? The inequalities we already face today could intensify. Imagine an elite living in intelligent towers with instant transport, health monitored by AI, and clean, sustainable environments while billions remain outside, in degraded and forgotten areas. Would this be the beginning of a new form of social segregation? Politically, the control of these megacities also raises controversies. Who would govern a metropolis fully integrated with artificial intelligence? Democratic governments, private corporations, or even autonomous AI systems? Would we be facing a new era of collective efficiency or a dangerous concentration of power? On the philosophical side, an even deeper question arises. How would it feel to live in a world where every aspect of life is mediated by technology? Our notions of freedom, privacy, and even identity could change radically. If every step, every decision, and every behavior is monitored by intelligent systems, will we still truly be the masters of our own choices? And do you believe these cities of the future will bring more social justice and quality of life? Or will they only reinforce the divisions and disputes we already face today, but on a larger scale? When we think about the megacities of the year 2100, We can imagine completely different futures, some utopian, others dystopian, and even some in between. In the most optimistic scenario, these cities would be the pinnacle of human innovation, intelligent skyscrapers that adapt to the climate, hyper-fast transportation connecting neighborhoods in seconds, totally clean and abundant energy, and a life integrated with AI capable of eliminating disease, pollution, and even inequality. Imagine societies living in harmony with free time for creativity, art, and scientific exploration while machines handle repetitive and dangerous tasks. But there's also the darker side. What if these megacities become true fortresses, controlled by corporations and accessible only to a privileged elite? In this dystopian future, AI could be used for extreme surveillance, social manipulation, and even suppression of individual freedoms. The promise of a perfect world would turn into an oppressive system where most people are excluded or marginalized. There's also the intermediate scenario, megacities coexisting with traditional areas, advancing gradually and regulated by international agreements. In this model, there would be a collective effort to balance innovation with social inclusion, allowing everyone, in some way, to benefit from technological achievements. In the end, the big question remains, are we ready to build megacities that truly improve human life, or will we repeat the same mistakes of the past, only on a much larger scale?